Hey, hello people. My name is Maarten Voorhuis. I'm the founder of Sparkle, a great product. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today's video is not about what we are doing as a company, but it's us sharing our knowledge because there's a serious subject, a new health hazard. It's not new, but it's new in us knowing about it, and it's a shortage of daylight. In today's video, I want to show you that we can do something about it by becoming aware when we start measuring this. I like to explain you that we have a biological clock and that living indoors is living in biological darkness. I'll explain to you why we feel so rested after a summer holiday. Let's start by the beginning. The sun is radiating its energy in the form of heat and light. And the light is hitting the earth, and because it's rotating, we receive it in a 24-hour cycle. And this rhythm of light is influencing all species. The plants, the trees, the animals, therefore humans, therefore you and me. And this rhythm of the light is such that the amount of light and the colors in the light are changing during the day. And when we receive a high amount of bluish light during the day, this triggers hormones promoting activity and a good mood. A lack of daylight in the evening and during night promotes a good quality of sleep. This is because we have a biological clock, and the biological clock is a part in the brain near the hypothalamus. It's 20,000 cells small, and we could call it the master clock. Why? Because it gives signals to all cells and therefore the organs in our body, which have their separate clock, and it tells them what time it is. If this process is not happening well enough, these internal clocks of your lung, your heart, your gut, your reproductive system, your muscles can run freely, and they start therefore working suboptimally, and therefore there is this big health hazard. It all sounds a bit theoretical, but just think about this. If we don't get enough light, this gives us a bad mood, and which can lead to depression in the long run. If our biological clock is not triggered well enough, then we have problems of getting into sleep. We sleep shorter and less deep, and we know that sleep is very important to maintaining your health. Your cardiovascular system is not working optimally, giving a lot of health risks. Finally, your metabolic system, so diabetes, has a higher chance of not working as well, and therefore you can become overweight, get overweight. Let's start measuring, and I will show you how we get the amount of light measured. It can be done with a device like this. We call this a luxmeter. A light source radiates lumens, and when it hits a certain surface, for instance here on our eyes, then we call it lux. Now we're inside a modern building where the light is the norm, and the norm is that we should have 500 lux on the desk, but when we are measuring on our eyes, I think we have about 300 lux at the moment. Even though I'm near a window, this light level is not enough for the biological clock to be triggered, because science shows it needs about 1,000 lux for it to be triggered. So although I'm near a window inside a very up-to-date building, my biological clock is not triggered. So I have the risk of becoming sleepy, and that's not good for our energy and more. I will show you some readouts and measurements when we're outside and near a window, so you can get a feel about this number and relate it to the 300 lux we're having at the moment. Okay, see you in a bit. being in the lobby of our building next to a window, let's get a readout. About 4,400 lux here. Let's go to the other side of the window and get a readout there. One moment. At the other side of the window, 7,400. Nearly half of the light is prevented of coming through a window with the properties this window has. It depends on these properties, but please be aware, a window can keep about half of the light from coming through. Now I'm walking into the outdoors. It's autumn here in Eindhoven at the high-tech campus where our company is situated. I'm looking towards the sun and I'm now getting a time 10 readout. You can see here the scale, times 10. So now it's 11,500 lux. If the clouds are moving a bit, it can go up to 12,000. Let's see what happens. But this is the reason why when we are outdoors, especially in summer, why we are so much activated during the day, sleep so well during the night, because we get sufficient amounts of daylight intake and we get better sleep. Our let's say mood improves, we are recharged, and this process needs to be triggered day in, day out, and then this is very good for our health. Now in the autumn and winter, when we bring our kids to school in the morning, our biological clock is not even triggered with outdoors light. So I have a few tips. During the day at about 10 o'clock in the morning and into the afternoon, it's very healthy with your loved ones to be outside for a few hours a day, having a conversation or a meeting. When you're indoors, second tip, live and work near a window at about 1 meter from that window. There the lux levels are a lot higher, increasing your chance of getting your daily intake of light. Thirdly, think about artificial daylighting, supplementing the daylight of the sun coming through a window. This should be about 1,000 lux for at least 3, preferably 4, 5 hours a day for you to get your portion of daylight intake. You can start measuring, as mentioned before. Become aware that this is an aspect that contributes major to your health, in addition to food, exercise, and all other things you can do. Start thinking about light, because if you do so and you get your intake, you will start to feel more alive. That's it for me at the moment. Like this channel if you want. There's more to come. Bye.